Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your April the 25th, just for today, in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of the meditation for today is Recovery is a Reality for Us Today. Pain and misery were realities in our using lives. We were unwilling either to accept our living situation or to change what was unacceptable in our lives. We attempted to escape life's pain by taking drugs, by using only compounded our troubles. Excuse me. Our altered sense of reality became a nightmare. Through living the program of Narcotics Anonymous, we learned that our dreams can replace our nightmares. We grow and change. We acquire the freedom of choice. We are able to give and receive love. We can share honestly about ourselves, no longer magnifying or minimizing the truth. We accept the challenges real life offers us, facing them in a mature, responsible way. Although recovery does not give us immunity from the realities of life, in the NA fellowship, we can find the support, genuine care, and concern we need to face those realities. We need never hide from reality by using drugs again, for our unity with other recovering addicts gives us strength. Today, the support, the care, and the empathy of recovery give us a clear window through which to view, experience, and appreciate reality as it is. Just for today, a gift of my recovery is living and enjoying life as it truly is. Today, I will embrace reality. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Recovery is a very real part of our lives today. The pain and the misery that I experienced using was an ongoing thing. It seemed like it was without end. Before I could barely get my burning tail out of one situation, another situation would occur. It was a nightmare. It was a conglomerate of lies, deceit, manipulation, cheating. There was very little, if anything, about it that was joyful that I can recall. I'm sure there were times where my laughter seemed genuine. My joy may have seemed genuine. However, for the most part, my memory, and I don't think it fails me, all of it was convoluted. All of it was something that was made up. And in the back of my mind, I had one or two things going on. How to get away from the individual I was around so that I could go use, or when or where what had I planned to go use again. That's all. I had this other life that ran everything. And showing up in society, going to work, seeing a counselor, showing up at weddings, going to my place of worship at that time, all of that was just the front store, that storefront, that thing that looks good out on the street that other people see. in society that could deter a person from looking further into what was really going on. So I had all of the things that needed to be in place to draw less attention to myself, except for as my disease of addiction progressed, there became more and more signs that I was unwell. Recovery today, and I feel like for some people, depending on what their faith system is, they struggle with saying that they're in recovery. They struggle with saying that they have this component of being an addict, this disease of addiction, but because it seems faithless to them. But they have no problem talking about the fact that they have migraines, that their children have seizures, that they have diabetes, that they have congestive heart failure. So there's this inconsistency, right? And the inconsistency, I believe, a lot of times is breed out of contempt for the perception that the world has about addicts. That's why I say here, let's not go back and forth over terminology. We all know that we're talking about something that was very dark and had the potential to kill and destroy everything around us, including ourselves. And now we're at a stage in our lives where we're free from the consequences, right, of having the disease of addiction. We found a way to cause the symptoms of the disease of addiction to have less impact on our lives. See, a diabetic, with eating right and checking their sugar on a regular basis, taking their medication the way that they're supposed to, a diabetic can turn things around, losing weight, right? There's things that a diabetic can do, hopefully, not in every situation, but hopefully to turn things around. And hopefully they don't receive an injury that won't heal, right? I know many amputees that have lost limbs because of the disease of diabetes, right? Their inability to control that part of it. But there are some things that today we can control about the illnesses that affect us. And so if that's you, if you're a person that feels as though, that recovery is a reality for some, but not for you, because in order for it to be a reality for you, you would have to admit that there was seriously an issue, and you're not comfortable with saying, I suffer from the disease of addiction. I would encourage you to remove the terminology, but accept the condition. And when you accept the condition, then you'll find, I believe, I went through the same thing. I found that when I could no longer deny the symptoms, the manifestations of the fact that I had a disease of addiction, when I could no longer deny that, and it was looking me squarely in the face, and I said, okay, maybe my sister doesn't need to say that I'm an addict, but yeah, I should probably own that myself. And I shouldn't be so offended that she's noticing. That's just letting me know my game is not as tight, right, as I thought it was, that other people are starting to see it. If I just own that I have these symptoms, and these symptoms are indicative that I have this condition, and that there is a medication, there is a solution, And there's probably many, but there's a solution that has worked for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Let me go ahead and use the prescribed medication for this, which was Narcotics Anonymous, or a 12-step program, because it taught me how to figure out why I would turn to the drugs so quickly as the solution. It helped me to get to the core, the exact nature. And that's what I needed to do. You know, someone that suffers from diabetes, has put on weight, they already know in the back of their head that their body is not processing things appropriately. And when they give themselves sugar in hidden forms as well as refined forms, their body struggles with that. They know that. But if you were to point it out to them, then they might become offended, like, how dare you? But as soon as they accept the condition and the symptoms, then they can move more readily into that solution. And that's what this gives me. The gift of recovery allows me to live a life that I can enjoy today, right? It's a gift because I embrace the truth about it. And so I would encourage you today to do the same. Embrace the reality of recovery, that it's a part of your life. It's a prescription that is being given to you for your disease of addiction. And if you apply it regularly, it can prove itself. You'll see the results really without having to do a whole lot. We have 12 steps. We have spiritual principles, and they're not difficult. People talk about a lot of them as though they are, but in reality, they're not that difficult. I encourage you today to enjoy your recovery. My name is MightyStream, and I've enjoyed talking to you, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. In the meantime, have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to.